Hey everybody, Matthew Turner here, Roar of the Lions UK, and I don't know what I'm doing here. This has been a very emotional day, and the Detroit Lions are the 2023 NFC North champions. I just don't know what to do. In our Discord channel, we've got people drinking copiously, grown men crying. That's what it means. That's what it means. It's been a long, long time. 30 years. 30 fucking years. Certainly since I've been a fan, and the shades of 2016. Thank you to someone that I can't even see for doing something, because I'm on my laptop, so you can see, and the video quality is terrible. Give me a second while I try and sort myself out. Jeff Hurley super chatting $10. Thank you, Jeff, for being our biggest supporter throughout all of this process and just helping us along. Your support has been invaluable, and it means the world to all of us, I know, at the show. So thank you. Ash in the chat saying, yes, Matt. Mike Marine, howdy. UK Brothers and Lions Division champ fans 11 and 4, now cheering for Miami and Baltimore. Number 1 seed still in play, boys and girls. Congratulations to all of you. Some of you have been fans longer than I've been born. I can't imagine what it feels like to have been a fan from this team from the 60s and have spent a lifetime with this team and not being an SOL guy, just supporting it and getting behind your team and it finally coming good. I feel like a passenger on this train, and I'm so happy to be here. Mike saying, streaming from Matt's Princess Room, lol. Yes, I'm with my in-laws. This is my girlfriend's childhood bedroom that I'm staying in for a few days with them, and I am getting drunk tonight. I really am. I think what we need to do is, we're going to get Ant coming in now to celebrate. There he is. Hello, lad.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. For some reason, you are not coming through my headphones. That is weird. Never mind.
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you, but through my speakers from my computer rather than my headphones, and I don't know why. But never mind. I can hear you, so you crack on. How are you doing?
I feel I've spent the last 20 minutes crying like a baby.
Oh, right. So they can't hear you. So what I'm going to do is do that. Should be able to hear you now. Just say again.
Can you hear me now?
No. Oh, sorry. On my laptop, and it's all the old settings, and I don't know what to do with this. Right. Is that going to work? Try now.
Can you hear me now?
No. Gonna go through all my settings and try and make this work. Bloody thing. What about now?
The mic works on my end, as far as I can.
Okay, so they can hear you.
Oh, can they?
They can hear you now.
Yay!
Oh, mate. I was just saying before that there have been Lions fans who are 64 years old, who have never seen us win a championship, who have never seen us be remotely good. One division title in that time, one playoff win in that time. And I feel somewhat of a passenger on this trip. And I'm so happy to just be a part of it. Like, it feels feels like such a burden off my shoulders. I feel so emotional right now, and yet the weight's lifted just a little bit.
Yeah, it's the first domino on the scale. This is we've talked about it. The first one is winning the NFC North. Like that's the first one that's got to go. And now the next one is going into the playoffs, winning a playoff game, then it's getting to the championship game, then it's getting to the Super Bowl. But we're on the ladder. Like you've just got to get on the ladder, you've got to get there, and it's been a hell of a climb. You know, we've slipped down a few rungs, we've nearly got there, we've just had it taken away from us, and finally, hey, geez, we got over the line. Like in that, there were so many times I was reduced to such fear. Like when Jefferson makes that catch on 3rd and 27, I'm like, oh God, no, this is going to be a highlight reel on Sports Center when they win, and for us to just come up with that pick in the end was, oh, it just let it all out. This is just years and years of pent-up aggression, frustration, emotion, everything about it is like we've been through a lot. Even us who've not been doing it in all our entire lives, but for years and years and years now. Even doing this pod, we have been the butt of jokes, we have been the butt of the division, we have had to put up with an awful lot. And to finally be able to come out the other side and be like, we fucking got there is just, it's just amazing. And it's what you wait for. It just means, but I mean, like some teams, you know, division win doesn't even register on their scale. For us, good. Here we are, NFC North champs. Screw the Vikings, the Bears, the Packers, everybody. Here's to you. Cheers.
I wish I was at home so all of this was smooth and I could work out how to do this fucking thing. But oh well. It's vaguely just about working. I'm going to try and do it on the back end. Apologies to everyone. I'm trying to sort this out at the time, but we can just about hear Ant, so it's all good. We're going to react to the game itself on Boxing Day. So this isn't about that. This is just about basking in it. Because, and not to go into the game too much, Ant, but late in the game, went into our shell just a little bit, and I had all the feels. Oh no, this is all going so terribly, terribly wrong. And I mean, we picked that play off at the 1 yard line. It was so close to going wrong.
Yeah, you saw the pass leave his hands in the direction of the end zone, and like immediately I was like, oh God, no. Like you dreaded that was going to one of their receivers. And then I saw him jump in the route. And the second I saw him jumping, I'm like, he's got this. I sort of jumped out my chair and this big yell before it even caught the damn thing because I knew he was going to. And like, this is the problem. When you are a young team who has never won anything in your life, you're going to have these issues right until the very end. It's always going to be, can they, can't they? And they're going to do it the cardiac cats way. It was never going to be another way. And that's what we got right down to the very end, right down to that play. But when it mattered, when it really, really mattered the most, for years when it's mattered, we've, shone away from the spotlight. We've made mistakes. We've let things slip. And when it mattered, they made the play. More like Iffy made the play. And the dude has just been an absolute superstar these last few weeks. Like he's one of the best players in that secondary now. And it's kind of apt that it was him because he's had a rebirth just as much as this team has over the last few weeks. He's waited patiently. He's taken his opportunity, and Christ, it was great. And we've earned this so much. It's like there's Vikings fans out there saying, if Kirk, this Kirk. Well, it's like, oh, shut up. We'd have beaten you anyhow, even with Kirk in there. I do truly and honestly believe that you are way too far behind us for Kirk to have made a difference in this. We've earned this. Like, all year, people have tried to demean our achievements. Oh, you beat the Packers, you beat the Chiefs, but without Kelsey and Jones. Oh, you've not beaten a good team. You've not done this, you've not done that. Shut up. This team hasn't done anything in 30 years. For it to come out this year and go out and win this thing is a big deal. And we've beaten some very good teams along the way. And at the end of the day, we're now 3 games in the lead. We've done it fairly convincingly when all is said and done. And now we have a free shot at a big seeding. We have no pressure on us when we go to the Cowboys next week. If we'd have lost this, I think they would have pummeled us by 50. Now we can go there, and if results go our way, even if it's not for the 1 seed, we can go there, get the 2, get the 3, get the 2 seed. We have something to legitimately fight for now. So it's the end of a long road, and it's the beginning of the next one. Going forward, us as a successful franchise, as a relevant franchise, we've come through the mire. We're out the wilderness, and we're back to relevance. And just, yeah, it's so great. I just seeing Decker cry, seeing Campbell cry. I'm just like, you guys cry. I'm crying with you. We all are. It's an emotional thing. You put a lot of investment into these teams, and when you get there, it's what makes it special. And I know it's just a division win, and we've still not done anything yet. And yeah, get it, but it's a start. This year, goals are accomplished now. We're going to get a home playoff game. We're going to get a shot at it. We're on track, and we're going in the right direction. And this team is going in the right direction. And this game was a microcosm of that. Like, it came up against adversity. The touchdown at the end of the first, the touchdown at the start of the second. We couldn't stop them. And yet, they went to work, got a touchdown the next drive, didn't let it bother them. This team is all about taking its knocks, getting back up and hitting back harder. And it's the start of something special, this is. 2 years ago, Amon-Ra St. Brown's touchdown started off the Grit Revolution when we won our first game under Campbell against them. And now we've won our first ever NFC title game at Minnesota. Like the Vikings, they're making history for all the wrong reasons with us, but it's the next step. Maybe in 2 years we'll beat them in an NFC Championship game as we win that as well. But it's very symbolic. I'm relieved. I just have been thinking back about all the moments we've had on this pod over the last 3 years, and before that, supporting this team, and it's just some weeks we've come on. Like when we're 0-13-1 and we're just depressed, we're angry, there's just so much that's gone wrong, and it's like, we all deserve this. The fans, us, everybody. Yeah, it's fourth. Four. Yeah. Oh, no, it's our fourth. It's our fourth year. We've done 3 years worth of, we've done 3 years worth of drafts, and we started the draft. So it's 3.5, coming on 4 years, probably 4 years now. So
They need to listen to me through this. I need to sort out the sound. But anyway, sorry, Ash. Sorry, Dan. The whole point of coming on right now is to lay it all out there for the last 4 years. Like we've wanted to do the show to talk Lions and just to voice our opinions. We're all learning about the sport. I mean, no more so, Ant, than you. You put in, along with Ryan, the most work of anyone into this, and the way that you guys have just improved and refined your process in terms of scouting, but also just every ounce of sweat that we've put into this. And I'm not saying that like the division win justifies the show, but the payoff feels fucking awesome.
it's a marker. We literally started this at the end of a dying regime that had nearly killed this team, and there was nothing to really talk about bar miserable things and just waiting for him to be gone. And then all the stuff with Dan coming, all the people who were skeptical, who just talked down on us, they don't know what they're doing. This has been a process. And like if we'd have said three seasons ago when Dan took it now that we'd 3 seasons we'd win the NFC North and we'd be in the way to the playoffs, a home game, maybe a 2 seed in this. You'd be like, nah, come on. It's going to take longer than that. That's not enough time to do something like that. And for them to turn it around how they have, this is everything we've never had. Like a GM who can draft, a head coach who can inspire, players who, we've got so many potential all-pro talents on this team who are blossoming and getting better. We've got people wanting to come here. It's a team to come to now. This is nothing we've had in a very long time. And it's just been about getting over that hump. That's what this season was. Can you get over the mental barrier that takes you from being plucky to being a winner? And they have. And it's been a painful process, but we got there. And, again, I can't even begin to think for all those fans who've been doing this like since the streak started back in the early 90s. They say 3 decades of your life, as long as we've been alive, some people haven't seen anything like this and certainly wouldn't have remembered it if they were kids back then. And it's just, finally one of the worst organizations in the league has been able to just get it right and give its very, very loyal fans something they've not had before. And yeah, it's nice to be able to come on and talk about a winner now. We spent 3 years talking draft picks. Like these last 3 years have all been draft and where are we picking and what results do we need for a higher pick and the arguments over tanking and stuff like that. Now we're arguing about what seed we're going to be in the playoffs, about who we're going to play in the playoffs and potentially how far we can go.
I'll address that in a second. A couple of things. One, Snowden in the chat. First off, just saying you guys deserve the time in the limelight, which I don't agree with, but that's you. But he says, seriously, you guys have been like older brothers to me the past 2 years. Take all the victory laps you want. And I appreciate that, Ash. Thank you, because I've loved it. It's been great. And growing it and having the guys come on board that we've had on, not just you, but Steve and people forget that Ryan McCluskey wasn't an original member of the show, that he came on as a writer to begin with. We weren't going to have on audio pods, and then has become an integral part of the show. Tom has come on. Like, the way that this has grown, the community that we have, it's amazing. Mandalorians, I appreciate you guys, this incredible community covering our team. And it sends chills down my spine when someone says our team, as if we have any claim whatsoever to what's going on. And finally, to someone who's been a fan of ours since the very beginning, from here in Europe, all the way from Finland, Teppo Kortelainen, super chatting, €50. Thank you. Thank you. That is amazing. It's a huge amount of money. Enjoy your Christmas, Teppo. It's come early. It's come very, very early. Santa's not due for another hour or two at least. But he emptied his sack for the Detroit Lions today.
His sacks. You know what? I'm surprised Nick Mullins didn't knock him down with all the moon balls he was throwing today. It's like Santa's like, the f is this guy doing? Just everywhere, just lobbing up moon balls and waiting for them to be picked off. And like, it is. This has just been an evolution. While this team has evolved, like I say, we've evolved doing this. Like, we just sat 5 of us on a Zoom call just one day 4 years ago. It was just like, oh yeah, they're never going to listen to us. We'll just chat shit for an hour and that'll be that. And let's say people have come and gone. We've had Aaron, we've had Ryan Farden. I'm delighted for him. He's going to go to the playoffs now. He's going back over for the playoffs. That's going to be great. But Martin, all these guys we've had who've come in and helped it grow from the very start. It's just, and then people who've joined, Ryan, Steve, Ash, everybody. It's just made it such a big thing here. And now that we can just finally come on and talk about a winner and not be the butt of everybody's jokes and not be that team who's not won anything since the NFC Central and the Bucks won it before you last did and no playoff wins in God knows how long and stuff like that. And it's just been very difficult and it's been very trying at times. You sort of have to delve into the darkest of humor you've got to keep you going. And now this, it's just it's still not going to sink in properly. It's on Christmas Eve, great Christmas present, and it's just going to get some used to saying. But I have a feeling we're going to be saying it a lot more in the future going forward, and not just this. I wouldn't want to play us in the playoffs now. This team has no pressure on it. They just have a free shot to the end of the season now to go out and do as much as they can. This was the biggest barrier, winning the division. Now, whoever faces us at Ford Field in the playoffs, I mean, that place is going to be insane. We will be able to hear it from over the Atlantic, how loud it's going to be there. And I would not want to be a player going into that atmosphere, an opposition player for us. I mean, God Lord, it's gonna be crazy. And yeah, it's not often I'm at a loss for words, but I am really at a loss for words now. It's just I don't it feels like winning a video game, doesn't it? Like you've fought and you've struggled on levels and you just think you're never going to get there, and then you get to that final boss and you're able to slay him, and then it's like, what do I do now? And obviously the final boss in this case is a Super Bowl, but given where we've been at and everything that the franchise has been through, this is as good as a bigger final boss as any. Like, just you go back to 2016 when it should have ended then, and it didn't. And then 7 years later, you're like, oh God, is that going to be it? Is that going to be the last chance you get? And you lose to Chicago the other week the way you did, and you've had some bad losses this year, and you're like, is it just ever going to be us? When?
Oh, balls. Sorry. Hang on. My speaker's just gone. Unmute audio with Alt-A. I don't know why, but my speaker's just gone. There we go. Back. Sorry. This is just annoying. Sorry. Oh, it's gone. You're not on the bloody stream now. I don't know why, but my thing's just acting up big time. My laptop. Irritating as hell. Speak now?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh.
See, you even get to when it's celebration time and even the technology's trying to sabotage us. You will not sabotage my good mood. Nothing will sabotage my good mood. And I just want to say, if Ash is listening, Ash, the way you've just cooked that Vikings guy on Twitter has just made me so proud. He's kept his receipts from the beginning of the year. And you say something, Ash will hold you to account. I know. I get held to account more than anybody. I have to be very damn careful what I say. But I love it when he gets to do all that shit on somebody else. So Vikings Central, go out there and buy yourself a golf jersey for next year. Because you are going to be wearing one.
I put it out spuriously as a sort of vague idea, and it seems so crazy right now. But I think about this team and the way they keep coming back, and they keep coming back, and they put themselves in the hole, and they keep coming back. If anyone is in Europe, and the Lions get through to a Super Bowl party, we will be holding a live watch party somewhere in the UK. We're going to be meeting up and celebrating that. So keep your eyes peeled. I was half tempted to turn it into a call-in show to have some people bawl their eyes out about the Lions because I thought it would be amazing, but part of me thinks maybe we should leave that until Boxing Day. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we've got the full system up and running.
Maybe. So it won't be live, I'll tell you that, because it'll be a hour that Americans probably won't be awake for, but never mind. Just the way that my schedule's working for the holidays. But do you think we can get the number 1 seed? Like, I have a slight hope, but it all relies on Baltimore tonight, doesn't it? Is it tonight? Tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's tonight. I don't. I think it's a step too far. But, I will absolutely take I will take a 2 seed. I don't mind. At the end of the day, I'd rather you got a better chance of winning in the playoffs if you get someone early. And, I don't want to kind of just sit there and wait for a bye week and then come in and then just lose. It doesn't feel. I'd rather just go straight in there and kick someone's ass and win that. There's a lot of time 1 seeds because they have the break. It may look good on paper, but you cool down and you'll lose to the team that's been playing consistently and is still in game shape. I know it's even 2 weeks, but it's a long time. So I don't think we will, but I think we'll go and kick the Cowboys' ass next week now. I just think this team, like I say, it does not matter if we lose to the Cowboys now. Nothing matters now. For me, I'd almost like San Francisco to win tonight and deprive us the chance of the 1 seed, because then we're not fighting for anything. We can just go there with a free slate, play our best ball, and beat them, and hopefully kibosh their chances in the NFC East, because they have to win this game. They're at home. All the pressure is on them.
Yeah.
And we have nothing to lose. And this team, when it has nothing to lose, plays some of its best football. And I think we can go there and do it. I honestly do right now. Because I think this last month or so, people said, our ball we've been playing has not been as good as usual. Of course, it's been nervous because you're at the finishing line. Like this last month has been working up to this finishing line. And nothing's harder than the last mile. Like they say when it comes to a marathon, the last mile's the hardest. We've done all the hard work getting there, but then you have to really grit in and really just drain everything you've got left over that last period. And we've seen it. Have we rode our luck a little bit at times? Yeah. But you know what? Sometimes you need it. Good play with a bit of good luck just to help you a little. A lot of teams get it. And we've eventually managed to get there. And like I say, I just think a weight's going to have been lifted off their shoulders now. It's gone. We got a free shot against the Cowboys. We got the Vikings again at home, where we can celebrate the banner. And then we'll be back there a week later to play some meaningful January football, playoff knockout football.
We're getting a fucking banner.
Yeah. Not some half-assed makeshift banner that just from winning a game or something, an actual one. We've won it. The new era for everybody. For all of us. This is, as far as I'm concerned, the past, we're cleansing that away now. People can't talk about us the last time we won the NFC North, can't talk about the last time we were in the playoffs. Out of all the NFC North teams, we are now the most recent to win the division. We are the most recent to make the playoffs, or we will be when we're in there. Because Green Bay sure as hell don't look like they're going to be doing much if they do get there. It's a new era, and I'm here for it. And it's still just going to take a long time to sink in. It just doesn't feel right yet. I think when the playoffs are on there, it'll be like, oh God, yeah, actually we're there now, but it's crazy.
We all came into the season saying we would like a playoff win. That was the aim. But actually, we've achieved the aim. Now, even if we lose the playoff game, which would be the most painful, so painful after 2014 if we were to lose this game. But it had to be the minimum of expectation. And they not only went and did it, they did it with 2 games.
Yeah. And we've had injuries, we've had a lot to deal with sort of in this time. I know Vikings lost Kirk and that, but it doesn't mean like we've not been without some of our best players. Like our offensive line's barely been healthy all year. We've had to struggle without that. And in these last few games when it's been together, we've seen just how dominant it is. The Vikings say, oh, well, we'd have been closer with Kirk. Well, what the hell do you think we'd have been with a fully healthy O-line all year? Like, we'd have won so many more games with these guys intact. There would have been they might have won a few more games. We'd already have a few more wins. You'd be just as far behind us. Injuries happen. Stuff happens. Hell, if you got Teddy on that team, maybe you'd still be chasing us now. But you didn't invest in it. That's your fault, not ours. You've got to.
Links is asking in the chat exactly what said to the Vikings person.
So at the start of the year, one of the Vikings Twitter pages said if the Lions win the division, then next year to the first Vikings home game, he'll wear a Detroit Lions Jared Goff jersey. He'll buy one and wear it to the game. So now that poor individual has to go to the first game in Scotland next year wearing a Jared Goff Detroit Lions jersey. And he has to provide evidence for it. Otherwise, he's a fraud. So, but Ash will bookmark stuff. He'll bookmark stuff like that from the beginning of a season, and he'll make you forget. I mean, I've got a lot of bookmark stuff myself, but no one bookmarks and archives like he does. So if you say something, you will be held accountable.
Yeah, that's why I try not to put anything around him, to be honest.
Well, you're in his bad books at the minute because of all those Villa goals, or no, non-goals.
Well, I mean,
goals.
He shouldn't try and take receipts for his bad takes. That's what I'll say.
That'll get clipped, and be used against you. That'll be used against you as evidence in a court of law at some point.
Thank you to Brent DeWitt. $1.99 saying King of the North. I know that you are not of huge means, and the fact that you donate to us means the absolute world to us. So thank you. Appreciate you. You've been, especially with the college show as well, one of the biggest support you have.
And I'm happy now, Brent. That upset that Army caused me when they beat Air Force 6 weeks ago and ruined their season has really gotten to me. But I'm happy now. I'm over that. There are bigger things at play, so there we go.
Quote from Courier Becker says, when you love the guys you're playing with, it means that much more.
I mean, I can never say I've had the smoothest relationship with Taylor over his time here, specifically when that new contract was inked. But if there's anybody who deserves this, like, more than anyone else, like anybody in Detroit, it's him. Like him and Frank, for sticking with us for anything through this, because they could have, when Patricia left, they could have demanded trades. They got the best years of their careers, and they've stayed loyal to this team when they could have gone anywhere and got a job anywhere. They could have forced their way out if they wanted to. And he's the epitome of what grit is. It's like he's been through the bad, he's taken his licks, and he's come out the other side, and he's the one who's laughing now. He gets to call himself an NFC North champion, and hopefully he'll get to call himself a playoff game winner soon, and then hopefully it'll be more. But he's earned it more than anybody, him and Frank have. And like for the people who've been here a really long time now, it's like it's going to mean a lot to them. And you can see it with Dan. Like, I just feel more justified for Dan than anybody. Like, just all the stuff he took when he came here. He was used as the agenda to why, there's not more black head coaches in the league, and idiots like him get it. He was demeaned, abused, made fun of. Everybody had a go at him and just said it's going to be an absolute dumpster fire here. Well, 7 coaches were hired that year, and there's not many of them left now. Weirdly enough, him and Sirianni, the 2 most panned hires, have been the 2 most successful of that class. Which just goes to show, don't judge a book by its cover. We all knew, we all had things. I wanted Salah here initially. I was a big Salah guy. But when you see Dan and what he's about, it took 2 minutes to realize that he was the guy here. He understood it. He's been here. He's suffered. He has an emotional investment in this, which just a regular head coach doesn't. And to be a success here, especially to get them into a period where they're going to be successful, you've got to have emotional investment in the team. You've got to have a feel for what the fans feel. You've got to know what it's all about. And he does. And it's just, he's been proven right now. And there's going to be a lot of people who abused Dan when he was hired who are going to be hearing from me very, very, very soon because I kept receipts on them as well. And I saw him wanting to cry when he came on. He wouldn't. Like, I've seen him cry before, but you could tell he wanted to, and he will do. I'll be like, you cry, Dan. I'm gonna cry with you. Like, I love the dude immensely.
I think I'm going to have to go before I start having, to be honest.
I got it all out the way beforehand. That's why I was a little late. I'm just like, no, I'm gonna wait till I can not cry and get there. And now, yeah, it is. It's an investment. And like this is for us who are overseas, let alone the people who've been there. But it's yeah, it's the culmination of a lot of pain and a lot of hard work for no return. And now we're getting a lot of return from it. This is what you get. This is what you get with sticking with them and knowing when you've got a good thing. And we've got a really good thing here. A really, really good thing.
What's coming on with me, man?
Hey, no worries. I mean, you can't keep not for something like this. This doesn't happen very often. And again, we've done hundreds and hundreds of shows where we've come on like, oh God, what nice things do we have to say today? Not very many things. And it's like, this is the payoff for it. We get to just come and be nice and happy and celebrate with everybody as well. Because everybody who listens to us and chats with us and that, they've been through the same. They probably had to sit at family dinners while they've been ridiculed and, oh, you're a Lions fan. Oh, how bad does that be? And there'll be a lot of people who've had it a lot worse than us. And I can see it from people on Twitter who've been pouring replies in, just like I've been going outside and crying, family are like, what the hell? And you do. It's it's what it is with sports. When you're a bad team, you just go through the ringer a lot. And when you stick with it like these guys do, then it just means that much more when you win. It's not another Patriots winning a title game where they just don't care anymore for these. They genuinely care and it genuinely means something, which is a good thing.
Just want to thank the Keel opener for the $1.99.
Love that name.
It's a great name. As you know, the Lions won again. And I mean, we're 11-4. We should be used to it right now, but I'm not.
Very, very selfishly, I had 12-5 at the start of the year. I just feel like I'm going to be absolutely bang on for the first time ever. But if they're 13-4, I won't care. If we beat the Cowboys, we'll be 13-4. So
I have 13-4.
I don't mind losing that.
Sorry, I have 14-4.
You did. So you'll be out by one, but like 11 wins. It's improvement. 9 wins last year, 11 already this year, carrying going on. I mean, God, what's it going to be next year? It's going to be 14-3 and winning the NFC Championship game. The pressure's only going to go up from now, but and I've already had a lot of people saying it's like this is just the beginning, it's just the division. It's like, yeah, this is just the beginning, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't celebrate the hell out of this. Like, again, every time a domino falls, celebrate the hell out of it. Win the NFC North, celebrate the hell out of it. Win a playoff game, celebrate the hell out of it. Get to the NFC Championship game, celebrate the hell out of it. Win it, celebrate the hell out of it. Get to a Super Bowl. And again and again and again. Keep celebrating these little milestones. They don't come along all the time.
And the thing is, we've got to learn where the milestones are. But the thing is, we're on the way up now. At some point, after being on the way up and staying at the top, hopefully for a little while, the team will come down again. It's the inevitable way of things. And realising where you're going as a team, and maybe where the overperformance is even with the bad side that is to come in the next. I mean, let's have 20 years, hopefully. But realistically, it could be 3 years from now, or 4 years from now, that the downturn comes. And realising where you have it good and taking joy in the small wins is what this is all part of. I just wanted to end this short stream with a thank you to everyone. I know this isn't the end of the season, which is when we normally do this, but it is Christmas. And You guys have been the absolute best. We celebrated 200th milestone, unfortunately, with 90,000 plays on the audio pod, 90,000 plays on YouTube. So we're getting towards 100,000 before the end of the season. And you guys have just continued to embrace this. Our subscriptions on YouTube continue to rise, our subscriptions on Twitch continue to rise. Well, that isn't going to happen if you're not enjoying it, listening to it. You're also, doing all the little things which really help us grow. So thank you to the amazing community that we have, because you've helped us do what we're doing, along with you celebrating your team doing what it's doing right now, and it means the world to me. And I don't know if you have any last words before we sign off.
Raise a drink, alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Cheers. Here's to all you guys. Enjoy this. We're NFC North champions. It's just the beginning. Let's get ready for the roller coaster, because we're going all the way to the Super Bowl eventually, baby.
2024 Super Bowl champ sound nice. Quite a good ring to it.
Does. I'm feeling it. I'm tasting it just like this beer.
Everyone else is going to feel as bitter as this one. Oh, let's start off with this. Get me the fucking beginning. Let's go.
Book the Packers.